So now let's dive into your expertise a little bit, because I'm sure the audience wants to hear like how to really do email marketing. Some of them may have a small list, some of them may have no list, some of them may have a big list, but they don't know how to make money, how to optimize it, right? How to make more money off of it. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and hopefully there will be some insights in there that the audience can take and apply to using their email.
Absolutely. Sure.
So the first question is, what is the secret to crafting a compelling subject line and engaging email content that will increase conversions? I know that's a mouthful, but subject line, conversions, subject line engagement for conversions.
So the first shallow answer to that, and first easy one-off answer to that is curiosity for subject lines. Like curiosity, I always try to strive for curiosity, and it matches the market's looming questions. So I mean, you can craft curiosity, but then does it match the market's there's a caveat to that though, and that there's a few caveats to that, and now I'm going to get to more contrarian type of thinking on subject lines. For one, very first like tip to this is make sure you're going to pay off that subject line. Like, so if you write a subject line just for the sake of getting it open, and then it leads way out of right field, way into right field, you're damaging your relationship. I mentioned earlier that relationship is the key, it's the foundation. If I put email marketing on a pyramid, where like what's the number one elements, I'd say at the bottom, where it holds everything in place, at the bottom of the pyramid, it would be relationship. That holds everything. That's the number one principle. When I deal with clients, when I deal with my own business, that at the top is principles. At the top, the principle is relationship, and the strategies and the tactics come from there. So it's always asking the question: does this hurt or does this hurt or improve the relationship with my list? Unless of course you're in the business where you're just transactional, you're just, hey, making the quick sales, I have multiple products, here's a new offer for you, here's a biz op market, they don't care about relationship, they just want the newest thing. That's the caveat to all this. But if you're not in that realm of business, if you're not in that market, relationship is going to be the bottom line, like pure element to getting to increasing revenue over time attributed to emails. So the other caveat to that is, once you build the relationship, subject lines don't matter very much, because what I've seen in the data you can split test. If you have a good relationship with your list, if you split test a really bad subject line, that this doesn't really work in this market, with a really great subject line, what I see is the open rates are very, there's not much difference. There might be a difference of 10%. That 10% are the people who are opening based off of the subject line. The rest of the opens, they're opening it because of the sender name. So the sender name, and with the name that appears in your inbox, that it has the most impact in opening an email, rather than just a subject line. So and I do the same thing. Like when in my inbox, I kind of filter via the name. It's like, oh, okay, and then you develop a habit. Eventually, you develop a habit of opening that person's emails, right? Because you find it interesting. So your second question was, how do you develop compelling content? And that's the key. I mean, to grow the relationship, you have to have compelling content. You have to have something that people have an interest in reading, right? And sometimes I think that people struggle with this. When I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, I say that in my perspective. Maybe it is actually really difficult. So I've been doing, I've been writing a daily email since, 2016, 2017. So, but I see people who struggle with it, but then you kind of dig into their life, and they're writing daily posts on social media. So I'm kind of scratching my head. It's like, how is you can create your content creator on social media, but you can't create email. To me, like those things are kind of I mean, it's pretty much the same. You're creating content and you're creating so compelling content. What do I think is compelling content? At the bottom of the list, I'd say information, just pure information. So tips and lessons. That's at the bottom of the list, meaning like that's like not the most ideal. If you're just posting up pure information, pure like how to and stuff like that, that's needed to show you're an expert. But if you constantly do that, if you're just pitching out free information, free how to, it gets dry and boring. It really does. I mean, I'm on a personal level. I mean, I get tired of just listening to pure information, pure how to. Eventually, you get tired of it and you move on to the next person. Then you start stacking on different forms of content that increase the value. And when I mean value, I mean the reader's interest in continuing reading your content. It goes into more of entertainment. It goes into more of like even drama, even maybe drama's at the top. That seems risky for a lot of people. When I say drama, I mean trolls that are commenting on your social media or replying back. Entertainment in the form of things that are happening, interesting things are happening out of your life. Usually, what I tend to do is, you know, each market varies. I've been writing to not so much business to consumer markets, but more so business to business. Because if I'm writing to a list for a company and that company is selling a software, and that software is for other business owners or inspiring entrepreneurs, it's a bit more so business to business. So that list for me is a pretty easy list to mail to, because they enjoy inspiration, they enjoy business lessons, they enjoy mindset lessons, marketing lessons, all stuff that I'm diving into every single day. So I'll typically, you know, if it's my own list, it's in my voice, my personality. It's my own personality that's driving it. You know, I may talk about something that happened to me, you know, an interesting story that happened to me while I was walking down the street. And then there'll be a lesson behind it, a business lesson, a marketing lesson, it's something inspirational, a mindset lesson, whatever it is. So there's always things, I guess I don't know if is that an analogy or so. It's a way of taking something and twisting it into a lesson for that particular market at this particular time. So does that make sense?
Yeah, that was really good.